Hello and welcome to the channel, and welcome today to Stellaris from Paradox Development Studio. So Paradox Interactive were kind enough to send me over this game, which is a massive thank you to them because I'm really pleased to be checking this out. Now, because this game is a grand strategy game, they take a long time to master because there's a hell of a lot to take in. I wanted to try and get you a video done before the game comes out on the 9th, which basically I don't have enough time to do. So what we're going to do is I've spent a couple of hours with it and I know the basics. And then we're going to do this, rather than doing this as the first impressions or anything like that, we're going to do it more of like a preview. And this is just going to be a kind of feature long length episode, and our goal is to colonise a second planet. And I'll try and show you as much of it as I physically can in this one episode before the game comes out, so you guys have got something to see from a basic level player. But obviously if you want something more detailed, there's people out there who are much cleverer than me who can do this stuff. I will probably look at this game again in the future after I've spent more time with it, so I can maybe talk about some tricks or anything that I've learned, but for now it's going to be a very basic preview look thing. So, first thing, this is probably my favourite sort of pick of characters ever, simply because you have quite a selection anyway. You got mammalian, fungaloid, molluscoid, so you've got all these amazing characters, but then when you edit them, as you can in many other games, to change some of these stats that they have, there's little things. So what I think what we're going to do, normally I would play the bird people as ever, but I think this one time I might play some sort of reptile. So let's say if we wanted to edit these. Now, we now get all these lovely things we can change, including, now this is probably one of my favourite things, their appearance. Paradox have put a hell of a lot of effort in making all these different things that you can pick from. And I think these look absolutely amazing, and it makes every single play feel just a little bit different. Don't know if that's just me, but I think these are absolutely cool as hell. I don't know who we're going to go with, to be honest. I'm kind of liking... Ooh, I think we might go for that. That looks kind of cool. Let's say we wanted that. Let's random the name a few times because I'm dreadful at names anyway, so there you go. That's what they're called. Actually, let's go for something that I could probably pronounce. Chimerian. That's probably a bit better. We'll go with that. So this is their ship names. We probably won't worry about that too much just yet. Right, traits. At the minute they have strong. So their army is quite good and they get more minerals. Talented, their leader skills are higher. Non-adaptive, this species does not adapt well to foreign environments. So their habitability on different planets is a bit poor, but, you know, I think that's actually okay. Maybe we won't change this too much at all. No, I think we might actually just leave that as it is, because I quite like these. I did want to play like a bit of a sciencey one, but I think for now we'll keep the strong one. Maybe it can be something for us to do. A starter ruler. Again, I don't really mind this, to be honest. We can just change this around just a little bit more. So we go for like a sort of green. Ah. I quite like that. We'll go with that. And so you can just see you just got so much you can change. So you can decide what kind of worlds you prefer. If you prefer arid worlds, tundras, Arctic. Just gives you a choice of just gives you a bit of option, which I'm going to stick with desert world because of the fact we're playing a reptile species. It just makes sense. I'm not going to change that too much. We'll keep it a random solar system, all that kind of good stuff. How do we want our cities to look? I mean, I quite like that, the avian cities. I like points. So I think we're going to have that. Now, these are our sort of two things. So we have a collectivist. So we have quite a tolerance of, say, slavery. And we take up a bit less food consumption. And we're also fanatic militarists. So if we wanted, though, we could change some of these. So I'm not really that interested in the whole slavery thing. I think I would much rather make them a materialist. personally. And do we want them to be good at war when they've already got buffs to that anyway? Well, that's the reason why they have the buffs. Let's just see if there's anything else that I feel. See, like, again, we could change that and just buff this up even more. I think this would be very much looking down. You know what? We'll keep the fanatic military stuff. Right, do we want to change this? Ship upkeep is reduced. Naval capacity is increased by 20%. Ship cost is reduced. Army upkeep is reduced. Building costs. No, we'll keep our military one just because I think that's a way that we may go. Because you never know with these things. We can design ourselves a nice flag if we did so wish. So this is our flag at the minute. I quite like that. I think that looks nice. But that's pretty cool as well. No, I think we'll go with that. I quite like that. Right, primary colour. What do we want? We'll have a sort of... We'll keep the red, but I think we'll change that. We'll go for more of a... You know what? No, let's not change it, because apparently I'm awful at designing things. Oh, I like that. There we go. We'll change it to that. What kind of starting weapons do we want? Do we want to use lasers, projectile weapons, or missile-based weapons? I feel like missiles. Warp, hyperspace travel, or wormhole travel. We'll keep warp travel. I've played with hyperspace, but I'll keep warp travel on this one. And how do we want their ships to look? I quite like the mollusk ships. I think we'll have the mollusk ships. So there we go. That is our race that we're going to use for this. We'll just have a small galaxy. We won't go anything crazy. We'll have a small little spiral. Yeah, I think we'll just keep it like that. That looks fine. Okay. Right, here we are. So, this is the sort of setup for our race. Now, let's move my keyboard a little bit. Right, so the plan is from now on, we're not going to stop until we have settled on a new world. So let's begin. Right, for now, just give me tips only. Just only jump in if I need you to. So, this is a real-time game. You just pause it and unpause it whenever you wish to. And the one good thing I found with this game feels a lot more straightforward than previous sort of like Paradox Development Studio sort of games like Crusader Kings 2. It seems a lot more sort of straightforward. So here, let's have a talk about what we've got here. So we have a small military power. We have a small fleet here, which I can zoom in and have a look at those. So there you go. There they are. They look pretty damn cool. Now we've got a science ship. I'm going to quickly just make sure that it's not going to keep talking to us every time I select these. Our science ship is what we will use to survey planets. So we immediately want him to actually survey this solar system. So survey this system. So he's just going to go from planet to planet now and survey this entire system so we know exactly what's here and what minerals are on it. Now, our construction ship can build mining stations and all this kind of good stuff if we find... So like say if this particular planet here can give us some actual red minerals, we can then put a mining station there to actually go and get that without actually going and settling on the world. It's quite cool. You can also set up like forward outposts and all this kind of stuff. That won't come into effect just yet. Then we have our spaceport, which is where we basically build our ships. And it sort of defends our main area here. So that's very, very important to us. And then here is our homeworld. So currently we have this governor here who's giving us some extra happiness, reducing our construction time, and he doesn't take as long to clear blockages. So this is the surface of our planet. So again, I'm probably going to get some stuff wrong. I am new. I've only played this a couple of hours, so there's a lot for me to still learn. So please bear with me. If I'm making mistakes, I apologise. But there you go. So we do have some blockers here that I could start clearing if I did so wish, but for now there's no point. As long as food is positive, you will slowly start to increase your population. Each population will fill a tile. So you need a fully grown population to work buildings. So here, on this one, this population here is working in the mining network, which is giving us quite a few different things. Now if we wanted to, we could go here and actually build some other buildings. So yeah, we could actually make use of this by building one of these getting a population to work it, but right now we just simply don't really need to. Now we already have a fully grown population here that isn't actually working on a building. We also have another one there, so it actually might be viable for us to actually increase how much food we're getting. I think that actually might be a good idea. So here we actually have a planetary administration, which is actually causing an effect to things around it. So you can see there where it has adjacency effect. Mineral output, food output, energy output. So you can put these in places. So like say if we put another one of these here, it would give adjacency effects to these squares in this sort of cross. So that's something we could potentially think about doing. Okay, so I think since he's already on a food, it would probably be beneficial to us to build another hydroponics farm to increase the amount of food that's generating, so therefore our population can grow a little bit faster. So then we can actually maximise the efficiency of this world just a little bit more. So that's going to be my first task. And I think we'll get the same going on this one as well. And then we'll sort of see how we're stable from there. Okay, so next thing, we have 3 different types of research. You have physics, society, engineering, which are represented up the top here. Oh, you can see there's a lot to go through, and this is just the basics, so I do apologise. But as soon as we get going, we'll get off to a flying start. That was not a pun, but there we go. So my understanding is these techs are randomly generated. I'm not sure if the first few are, but you can start to get like... there seems to be some differences based on what you've got, so I'm hoping that would be kind of cool if that's true. Now, this will give me a solar panel network, which seems to give me more energy, so credits, which is up here. It's essentially money. Or we could just start making our research speed just faster. You know what? I think I'm actually just going to go for the faster research for now. So now our society. I mean, this one's kind of obvious. You're going to go for the colony ship because that's our big goal. And here, I think I want the engineering facility because if you can plant them down, they give you quite a lot. Like they're going to give you some science in every single thing, so they're just handy to have. So there we go. We have that. Now, the one thing I love about this is this situation log. So anything that happens is kind of here. And I found this gives you a pretty good idea when you start off about what you need to do. Particularly if you leave the tutorial on, it tends to tell you like, okay, now go and survey these planets, now go and do this, now doing this. And it gave me a pretty good idea about what I was doing. So anyway, let's unpause the game. So we can actually start to see things moving away. So now my science ship is going to go have a little fly around space. We can speed it up a little bit if we do so wish. So he's now just going to go from every star and planet in the area and scan it. So we know a little bit about some of these. So we know most of these planets are gas giants. But the thing is we're not interested in whether they're a gas giant or not. We're interested on if there's any secret techs in them. If there's any materials, like there we go, right here. So now we can go to our construction ship. And we can go and build a mining station. Now you can either go from here, or you can literally, once you've got the ship selected, you can right click and it gives you the option to go straight away. Right, we have an anomaly. Okay, so let me just pause this again for a second so we can have a look at this. During the survey of our home system, we found something on Pan Dasak that did not match earlier observations made from our homeworld. So there is skill level 2, there's a 0 risk of failure. So we were going to send our scientists back to research that before they actually go and continue their surveying. So that's on the moon of our actual homeworld, and we hadn't noticed this, which is interesting in itself. So now you have a little situation log here. Normally it tells you how long you've got going on, but apparently this time it's not going to. I should probably be able to click this and it'll actually tell me. Yeah, here we go. So that's not going to take that long, in honesty. The joys of putting the game on a little bit faster speeds. So obviously there's certain things up here that will keep coming up, so we know that that's going on right now. I'm interested to see what actually happens here, because I've seen some kind of crazy anomalies that can appear. So in this case, the anomaly on Pan Dasak turned out to be a natural geological formation. It almost looks like a marker showing the way forward. The natural beauty of the universe can be quite astonishing. We should continue to investigate these sorts of anomalies whenever we get the chance. It will more assuredly grant us new knowledge and technology. Okay, so we basically want to be looking out for them in future. So that's pretty cool. So we've scanned a couple of planets. And we have finished our first mining station, so now we are getting a few extra minerals, which is always good. Now, the main thing we want at the minute is kind of minerals, because minerals are just used for a lot of things. And obviously we want to keep our credits going up as well. So how are we getting on here? We have got our hydroponics farm built here. The other one is not far from done. And as you can see, we now have a new population that's growing here. So growth is 9 out of 45. So that is a new population that's growing there. Once that becomes like a solid picture, it's grown. And then we can literally pick it up and drag it round to make it work different areas. You do get some other options. You can enslave them. Which I haven't really delved into yet, because I haven't played a race that's like really into slavery. Or you can purge them if they get, you know, if there's rebels in the sectors and all this kind of stuff. But as I say, there's a lot I haven't gone through yet, so that's stuff probably that will come in later. So we aren't making any money, which is something we're definitely going to need to sort out pretty soon. We have encountered some form of alien vessel in the Stellaris system. These strange things are known as alpha aliens. Until we learn more about them, we should proceed with caution. Right, now. It did not take long for the Tzin Empire to come across intelligent alien life. The fleet's report of the Camarian capital somewhat understates just how these animal forces appear, and only in passing mentions the failure to open comms. Right, let's quickly pause the game for a minute. So now, we now have an alien in the sector, which are these things. Now we can't communicate with them until we go to situation board, and we now have this investigation thing pop up. So we can now hold our society research, which is currently making our colony ship, to research their language so we can communicate with them and actually learn about them, which for now I'm going to do, because it's always nice to actually know if something's a danger or not. In this case, I do believe I already know the answer, but because I don't think I've played a game where these weren't the first things to appear. We have fully finished our survey, which is brilliant. So we are going to send our ship to go and make a mining station over here now. Where's our science ship? We want you to survey. Now we want to go out into the big old vastness of space, which as you can see, it's huge. And this is a tiny map. So we want you to go and visit all the stars there. So he's now going to go and complete a full survey over in this sector over here. You can see there's quite a few planets over here. So hopefully he'll find something good over there. So he's going to do a little warp jump in a second, I believe. I've completely lost where he is. He may already be over there and I've missed him. Right, we have negative balance, so we need to get that sorted. So that makes credits. So if we were to clear this... oh god, it's all going on suddenly. Okay, we have encountered some form of aliens. These are going to be called beta aliens. Okay. An unidentified object has been detected on a direct course. Ooh dear. Oh god. Okay, it's all going on. Right, let's get that clearing. Right, let's just pause it a minute so we can sort of see what's going on. So over in the other sector where we were, there was a hostile fleet. And I think our science ship has had to come back. And there's now another alien that's on a direct course to here. Which it's estimating has about a power of about 150.
These are unknown spacefaring entities. We can learn more about them.
So, I know we can do this. It's fine. We're rapidly running out of money though, so I am kind of concerned. No, the only problem is because that thing has sort of appeared in the sector, my construction ship has panicked and gone home. And is now not building the mine that we needed to actually maybe sort out our credit problem. Our first stumblings into steps of void beyond were not motivated solely by curiosity or desire to conquer the unknown, or a need to leave our mark in the galaxy. The biosphere of today has undergone rapid changes in the past few centuries, and prominent scientists warn that Tzania may be faced with the beginnings of a mass extinction event. Oh dear. A research plan has been put together to study a number of planets rendering uninhabitable by major astrological incidents or planet-bound catastrophes. We found that by reconstructing these events, a similar fate may be avoided for Tanzania, the Khmerian race. It falls to you, as Grand Marshal of the Tanzanian Empire, to ensure that this expedition is carried out. Well, it's just trying to throw every kind of hell at me right now. Right, I want to try and get my construction ship back to working on this. I'm hoping he stops panicking. What was that? The spaceport. Oh, right, it was our first project. The Tiyaki, a docile creature capable of accessing some lower dimensions of subspace. They roam the galaxy from system to system with relative ease, though nearly the same ease as the Khmerian fleets. They graze on gases common to the upper layers of many gas giants. It is highly unlikely, to say the least, that this is their only food source, but intake of other nutrients has yet to be observed. They will rarely, if ever, attack, even when provoked. They can safely be ignored. That would be a net loss anyway. Right, so there we go. The first sort of alien that appeared in this sector, as I expected, completely harmless. So exactly the same as what was in my first game, so I kind of guessed that anyway. Right, now, did our other ship... Ooh, Habitable World Survey. We now know without a doubt that a thriving biosphere is not something unique to Tanzania. Both the scientific community and the public at large are eager to learn more about the various forms of alien life found throughout the galaxy. Efforts to catalogue the life forms we encounter are already underway, but our xenobiologists have urged us to focus on planetary survey efforts on habitable life-bearing worlds. Okay. So now we have a situation log that's based... okay, let's stop again. The situation log suddenly has gone crazy. So we have a mass extinction event. So we need to avoid a potential apocalypse, we must study the effects that major calamities have had on other planets. So we need to find broken planets. And a burned planet, a chilly planet, a desolate planet, or a noxious planet. We need to find all these and then do this test to basically make sure that we're not going to die, which is lovely. And we can also quickly begin some research on here, because I want to be able to talk to all forms of aliens so I know whether I'm safe or not. Now, was it this way our guy was checking stuff? Yes, it was. So, have we found anything? Right, that hasn't been surveyed yet. That's a tundra world, so technically it can be colonised, but it's not really that great. That, however, very good for us. Not the biggest planet in the world, but it's a planet nonetheless. So, it seems that we have a goal. I think that's going to be our first planet. I do believe. Okay, that's fine. Right, have we finished this? Right, we are now making money. We can't quite afford to build the station. We need 90, which we're getting there. We're in a decent amount of minerals now, so that's fine. Let's go and check how our home world is doing. How have we cleared that blockage? Yes, we have. Okay, so we are looking for... to probably put a power plant there, which will increase how many credits we're earning, because that seems to be the thing we're suffering on most at the minute is credits. So we'll get that built. Hopefully by then this population will be grown, so we can just move them straight over into that. Oh, right, yeah, it was the study of the other one. Space Anobias. Following tactical gross misreading, yeah, these creatures display aggressive behaviour towards Khmerian ships, but further study is warranted. For example, we could exercise our martial prowess by swiftly executing this specimen and studying its remains. Issue a special project. We expect our fleets to make short work of this creature. So one begins a quest chain. I am more of the cautious sort. I would much rather we study them from afar. It's not going to take that long. We study them from afar so we know exactly what's going on. More interesting discoveries are made on surface. Well, then begin researching. There is a risk. There is a 22% risk on this. But I feel that it's a worthy risk, to be honest. We need to learn about everything we can about our space. Some more credits here. We've got some engineering research points to be had on that one, and we've got some society research points to be had on this one. It looks like that may be all. Oh no, sorry, there's some credits on this one as well, so that might be another good one for us to set up. Okay. Technology's going fairly well. Obviously this one is kind of quiet because we've been making it study all these. So, it's been stuck... solitary animals, they're left to their own devices. All but the younger specimens are accompanied by quasi-independent plagia, organisms spawned by the amoeba, and programmed through liquid, RNA-laced secretions to do the bidding of the host. Interesting. They are potentially military applications for the graceful patterns of circulation apparent in the plagia's movement. Interesting. A movement modifier added, giving the following effects. 5+5 evasion. That's kind of awesome. See, it's kind of useful to study these, I feel. A science team reports that they have not found the impactful data they first expected. Oh, that's a shame. So they failed. That is not what I was hoping for at all. Not what I wanted at all. That's nearly built. It's going to be done in 34 more days. This population isn't it? In fact, I'm going to move this population preemptively over to here. So as soon as it grows, it will just start working that building. They may... No, the building's going to just about win. They'll finish about the same time, though. Roughly. So there you go. At the minute, it doesn't have a pop to function. But that pop is just about to grow to full maturity. Any second now. There you go. So now we're earning more money. So our money's now much more healthy. So there you go. And then we have a new population growing there. Fantastic. Population growth is sorted. Okay. So this is now completely finished as well. So we can now get our engineering ships over here and start building. This planet is not within our borders. Right. So what you're telling me is that I need to sort that out. Now, what was it that you need to do? Which one was it? Was it the Frontier? A space station used to claim uninhabited star systems and expand your borders. It can only be built in orbit around a star. So we need 1 influence. So now I can build that there. There we go. Perfect. So now that construction ship's going to come over here, build us a frontier outpost, and then those borders should become ours as well. So we're going to expand our influence into another solar system. And then we can slowly start upgrading this system and make use of all these things. And eventually, this is going to become our second colony. So we now have all this stuff going on. It's just absolutely mental. But this is our goal for this video. So we need to finish... We need this finished. It's going to take 37 months. And then we will be able to... If I remember rightly, colony ships are quite expensive, so we're going to need a hell of a lot of minerals. Might be worth speeding up the game just for a little bit, just so we can try and get this done just a little bit faster. Because I'm sure no one wants to watch like a 2-hour video. Right, science ship that is asleep. You can go back to surveying, so your next survey will be here. So, intel level is low. Hopefully we find something very nice. Okay, there's a fair few planets here. We've got some barren worlds. We've got a frozen world. Barren again. Oh, there you go. So we've got some here that actually can give us some science. So there might not be anything here that we can necessarily use straight away, but the stuff that we can actually still make use of. Okay, so we finished our physics research. So I think for now, what I'm going to look at putting this into is probably the energy storage, maybe? I don't know how much energy we're allowed to store. Oh, up to 2,000. Okay, yeah, we don't need that just yet. I think just because of the fact that we can be kind of military, that might be worth getting. And then engineering, we can either increase the amount of army damage that we do and how many minerals we're getting, which that could be very good. The ion thruster or a power plant. I personally, and it reveals the resource, a special strategic resource. I mean, that's strategic resources are amazing. But I think in this case we're going to take the extra minerals. It's probably not the best idea, but that's what we're going to do anyway. And let's begin. So I'm going to keep this on the fastest for now, just because it gets it done just a little bit quicker. Science officer has leveled up and gained the trait Careful. Interesting. Good for him. Well, there we go. He has now gained Careful. So he now has less chance of failing anomalies, which is perfect, really. I like the fact of this. Whenever you make a new fleet, you can assign a general to them to make them work. And I like the fact that they level and gain these new stats and things like that. That's quite nice. Okay, this sector so far isn't offering us too much. I mean, it's offering us a fair bit, but nothing like crazy special. I mean, he's literally nearly finished the survey, so he's got a long way to go soon. Right, let's go back to our homeworld for a minute. Let's just slow this down just a touch, while I just make sure that everything is fine on the homeworld. So we are earning plenty of food at the minute. We don't really have much else coming out. There are signs of an ancient precursor civilization. Well, get down there. We need all the knowledge we can get. Right, this is now built, so this should now be our system. Yes, it is. Fantastic. Okay, so let's start making use of what we know is in this area. So, our money isn't the best, so I think we're going to start by making that better. Just because this could become pretty important. So, we know that that's getting to work over there. The First League. We have recovered artifacts from an ancient alien civilization on Golbia 7. If what we have learned from these artifacts is correct, this civilization was some sort of confederation that consisted of many different alien races. They called themselves the First League, and appear to have coexisted in relative peace for some 2 million years ago. Though the Golbia system lies in the region of space that seems to have made up the core of their territory, a partial map found among the artifacts indicates that the First League may have covered a significant portion of our galaxy before its eventual collapse. That's kind of cool. This begins a precursor.
Situation log updated.
Oh, I've got to see this. This is kind of cool. I haven't seen this before. So we've got to try and find more artifacts from them. Okay. That is very interesting. Right, well, you have now finished your survey. So, you know what we've got to do now? We send you on more surveying. So let's send you to here. Sort of get a little bit of a chunk going this way. Let's see what happens. Off he goes. Fantastic. Okay. And he found a hostile fleet. Oh, it's this other alien again. I thought we'd researched them. Or did we just discover that they are just hostile? I guess they are just hostile. Okay, well, I guess our science ship will have to go elsewhere. Begin a survey. We won't let us go there. Let's try there. We want to survey as much as we can. How is our research getting on? We're not that far now from getting our colony ships.
Hostile fleet detected.
Space movement from the space have been detected on a direct course. Oh, good God, it's all going on again. Encounter in Hytha. You have encountered some form of alien vessel in the Horus system. These strange objects have been flagged as gamma aliens. Should proceed with caution. Space movement have a direct course with the Grunium system. Okay, that's fine. Right, let's go and get mining. Okay, let's go and have a look at what's going on. So, we know that they were coming in here. That's fine. And this is the place that we're currently checking out. Fleet detected. It's fine. Oh, look at all these little teeny tiny planets here. Barren, barren, barren. Lots and lots of barren worlds. This one already seems to believe that it's habitable, even though it says gas giant. Oh, sorry, I think it's talking about that little tiny world there. Oh, they have a tropical world. That's already there. Go and get in on that anomaly. Anomalies are very important to us right now. Okay, let's go back home. How close are we getting to this? Incredibly close now. We only have 5 months left. I think, off the top of my head, it's like 300 gems, that the minerals that you need to actually do this. I'm interested to see what this is going to be. Here we go. There is clear evidence that a massive space battle took place in the close orbit of Vimas at some point in the last 5,000 years. The surface on one side of the moon is pockmarked with craters from spray weapon blasts, and scans from the TIS Bibina have picked up several hulks on the ground. Though these wrecked ships are all in very poor condition, the fact that anything remains at all after the damage they must have sustained is testament to their advanced design. Science Officer Hask Tarag is preparing an expedition to sift through the derelict hulls for any valuable technologies. Okay. So, he wants to go and do this research. I am happy for you to go and do this research. Let me go to it. So you... No. Here. Come back. Go and do that research project. That's important to us. Why did I go over here? I don't know. How are you getting on over here? You're finished. Fantastic. Well, go and build another research station over here now. So we can just maximise everything that we're getting in this sector. Plus that improves how much society research we can do, so it's going to speed up some of these things anyway. Okay.
Research complete.
Research is complete. We can do our colony ship. Colony ship. A biolab. Naval capacity or a frontier clinic. Produces food and improves the planet modifier. Well, I mean, that just sounds like it's a good idea just in general, so we're going to go with that. Now we can start looking at actually building some ships. So, for a colony ship, we need 350 gems. We're about 200 short. So, we need to wait for that to be built. So, we're just going to have to let that tick up for a while, and we will continue our research and find out what is going on.
Special project complete.
Aha! The team under Science Officer Hask has finished their expedition and has returned, thankfully. The starship graveyard on the surface proved to be a technological treasure trove. Studying the remains of these vessels had advanced our research in certain fields by several years, and there are yet things to discover. A permanent science houseboat in orbit would be a great boon. Holy damn! Yes? Okay, let's get on that then. Right, as soon as our friend over here has finished his work, which appears he's already finished his work, we will go over to this planet, and we are going to tell you this planet is not within our borders. Of course it isn't. And we can't build a frontier outpost because we need 200 influence, which we don't have. So that's going to have to be a project for another time, I am afraid to say. To let him carry on his survey nonetheless. Well, that is a shame that we can't jump on that just yet. We have nearly got the amount for our colony ship though. Anomaly. As shown to scan surface, it's quite clear that we have found something out of the ordinary. Strong storms ravage the moon constantly, which can aid our resources and research, but will be an obstacle for our population. We will surely come across even more irregularities like this as we survey new planets, and should we not underestimate their impact on our expansion. Intriguing. Okay.
System survey complete.
Okay, let's just pause this for a minute because there's suddenly a lot going on once again. Okay, what do we want here? Okay, that unlocks the spaceport level 2. Right, that's just an improved spaceport. We definitely want that. That is a good research to get, it seems. Okay, we're not too far from being able to build our convoy ship. Our survey has completely finished. So I would like you to go and survey some more worlds. That's got gamma aliens in it. So go and try that one instead. Okay, off he goes. And we should have encounter. We've encountered some more aliens. Okay, so we've got even more aliens. Oh god, it's all kicking off. Right, go to our spaceport. We should be able to build a colony ship. Not quite. We're damn close though. Come on, just boost it up a little bit more. There we go. Now we can build a colony ship. And the colony ship is underway. Right. Science ship. Survey. Have we got anywhere a little bit closer you could survey? What about these ones like right next to our capital? This is the closest star other than these ones directly here, so let's see if you can get anything on those. Oh, it's getting close. It's getting close. We've nearly got our... Well, we're going to be on our way to go and colonise our next planet. Right, we still have something over here that you haven't done, which we need to just save up the minerals for. I really should be building some more military ships in case we get into trouble, but I want to just try and get this done for now, and then that can be the focus if you guys wish for this to continue. Okay, spaceport. Again, we're making good progress through this now. So yeah, you guys will have to let me know if you want this to carry on. I don't mind working the way through, as long as you guys understand that I will be learning as well as we go. I generally don't mind carrying on this, but I just wanted to give you a decent look at the sort of start of the game, so you could get a bit of a feel for it before the game comes out on the 9th. And then I will probably do a much more in-depth video once I've got a lot further into the game. That's my general plan at the minute, but I am always open to suggestions from you guys anyway, so please do feel free to let me know if there's something you would like to see specifically. Hostile fleet. Are they attacking my stuff? That looked like we'd found a civilization. That is definitely what that looked like to me. Delta aliens. Research them. I must find out. I get the feeling we may have friends nearby. Oh, what's this here? Oh, it's these guys again. The old Tinkers. Tiankies, whatever you want to call them. How are we getting on? Our colony ship is very nearly finished. And we've got a fair bit to go left on that. Let's just speed up the game a little bit so we can try and get through this, because now even I want to know what these Delta aliens are all about. Okay. And we have our colony ship. So let's slow down the game. Let's grab our colony ship. Let's take a look at this lovely vessel. There it is. Kind of goddamn beautiful. And now we want to send this to colonise.
Special project complete.
Ancient mining drones. Reports in deep space. Drones, a certain system, have been investigated. The drones appear to be the workers and custodians of an autonomous orbital mining operation, established millennia ago, and then soon abandoned by all but the drones themselves. Judging by the state of the processing equipment, their purpose is obvious enough: mining. But who it is that tasked them is not immediately apparent. But what is obvious is that no shipment of minerals has been received from this system in hundreds, if not thousands of years. They may be old drones, but they should be kept under close watch. Let us establish a listening outpost. Now, colony ship. Colonise this planet. So we need to pick a place to put it down. So I'm going to pick right there. So our colony ship is now going to move on over here. Now, while this is colonising, they're going to be a massive drain on our resources. So we do need to be aware of that. So we are going to have a negative balance because they have to come... The actual ship itself has to come lay its foundations, as it were, land on the planet. And then they have to spend so many months actually building a settlement there before they can become self-sufficient. So the initial colonising process can be a little bit of a drain on your entire empire. So that is something it does slow down the whole rapid expansion unless you've got a crazy until you're much further in the game. Then eventually it becomes next to nothing because you're earning so much on some of your bigger planets. So, I love this moment. I love the colonising moments in these games. That first expansion's always the most exciting in my opinion. Because it's always the biggest. It's the big thing. It's the big decider on how well you're going to do. So, I always get excited for these moments. Doesn't matter how many of these I play. So, we're going. Oh, this is our new home. And...
Congratulations.
There we go. Thank you. Our colony ship has gently touched down by the outskirts of a large oasis. Situated at the foot of a large mountain, this ideal location provides shelter from the wind and has easy access to water. The ship has been permanently converted into an administrative headquarters at the new site, and its reactive core... Oh, that's how you get... of course, I completely forgot that that's how you get the administrative headquarters, and that has the effect on everything around it. I should have put it in the middle of the board. God damn it. Oh well, I made a mistake, and I will try and remember it from now on. Hundreds of small tents and prefab shelters have sprung up around the former starship's massive hull of colonists begin to disembark in large numbers. The first city on an alien world. So this is now our city. As you can see though, it is going to take 13 months before they consider it to be colonised. So it's very vulnerable right now. Our hardy pioneers are establishing a foothold on this planet. This process costs 8 energy each month, which is why we're at a negative at the minute, and will take approximately 12 months. So we're going to wait until that's completely done, and then I'll show you just hiring a new governor and our first beginnings of building it up. I think we'll take deflectors. I don't really want to go down the military route, but I kind of feel like I'd rather have the tech there now, just in case. New friends aren't particularly nice. Okay, let's begin research on them, and let's get our other place researching the other ones as well. Oh, it's exciting. I love it. I am a big fan of this game. I really am enjoying it a hell of a lot. There's so much for me yet to learn, though. It's just crazy how much you forget when you haven't played a grand strategy game for sometimes just actually how much there is to do in it. And every time I come on here, I learn something just a little bit different. And as I say, I'm only a few hours in. I haven't actually finished an entire game of it yet, so I imagine there's still a lot of surprises to see. I know with Stellaris, apparently there's certain techs that can literally like destroy planets. There's all kinds of just nonsense that can occur. The work ethic. The drones are remarkably efficient at squeezing every diminishing return from rocks. Cameronians would have soon discarded. Deemed exhausted of all worthwhile mineral content, our top engineers are working on adapting the drone's methodology to use in the Tzin Empire's mining networks and stations that should improve efficiency, effectively lessening energy expenditure. That's pretty cool. On lesser import is the fact that the drones are not completely silent. Contrary to previous assumptions, they emit signal pings, although extremely infrequent and at a wavelength hard to isolate from background noise. If there is anyone left to receive these pings, may be a mystery for another time. That is pretty damn cool.
Situation log updated.
So now we have some special mineral-rich places to go. So these are all things that we need to get on pretty soon. But probably not today. Our main focus right now is just having this place built so we can do this, then I've achieved my goal for the day. I've showed you from the start to the point of getting a second planet. And then if you want to see more, you guys can let me know and we can come back, we can discover some more aliens, make first contact, and we can just do all that lovely stuff. In fact, I don't think there's any we can actually talk to yet. Not just yet, no. No one who's of high enough intelligence that we can communicate with them just yet. Probably not far off, though.
Special project complete.
Detected an FTL trail. The trail will vanish. Crystalline entities. Reports of strange, free-floating crystal-like objects observed in certain systems have been investigated. The ship-sized objects and their slightly smaller but equally crystal-like satellites at first appear inert, but sudden shifts in their orientation relative to our ships and new energy signals emerging from within the prisms indicate that they should be regarded as hazardous and approached with caution. Even should we not find a martial use for them, studying a shattered crystal should no doubt yield interesting results. Let's observe them.
Updated.
I am much more a fan of observation, to be honest. Just until we can get some better ships built.
Research complete.
Which is actually something I will probably show you guys in just a moment before we do anything else. That increases our border range, that increases our influence. Both I kinda like. I'm going to go for the border range. Anyway, let's just quickly slow this down. Put it on normal speed. I'm going to quickly show you the shipbuilder.
Within our empire.
So, shipbuilder in this I have found relatively straightforward to use. So let's say we wanted to build a new corvette. This is our corvette. It is lovely. Now, at the minute, these are our you can basically change the way the ship looks and how it modifies. So at the minute we have one that has a small weapon, a medium weapon, and 5 utility slots.
Established.
Or we could have an interceptor core which has 3 small, 5 utilities. Or we could have one that only has 1 small weapon but it has more utility on it. So in this case we're going to keep the striker. Now, so we get a small and a medium. So we can... Please, just stop a minute. They do not mate. Be violently unleashed, and it appears as though fluctuation change after the rear. Okay. Right, let's just pause the game because it's going to be easier for me to go through this. So you can then sit and customise every single thing as you wish. So at the minute we could have nuclear weapons, which is what we're going to have. We're going to have just loads of nukes on there because we can. And then in these utility slots, in fact, actually we'll have just the one big nuke, and then I think we're actually going to have a point defence on there. I think that's probably a good idea. Then utility slots, at the minute we only have fusion reactors, which I'll just fill them up. So there you go. And then eventually you can get better warp drives, combat computers, so all these will be able to be swapped out, and you can just get them better and better and better. The bigger the ship has more cores, so I think once you get to destroyers, which I have in my other save, you can change the front half and the back half and sort of like customise them. Both of them have like 3 options that you can sort of change between. So this will be our sort of new design if we did so wish. And we could just change that and call it whatever you want. So in this case, we'll just call it nuke pointers, because that's what they've got on there. But there you go. So we have that. So now if I did so wish, I could go to my shipyard and just start spamming those out. But here is our new planet. Isn't it lovely? Right, so first of all we want a governor. Please be quiet. So we can recruit our first governor for this planet. So they have ages. Eventually these will die, is my understanding, and they have to be replaced. So age above 72. But there you go. So he makes more food and reduces the cost of hydroponics. That's pretty damn good. Leader lifespan lasts the next 25 years. I mean, that's okay. Or you can have he makes more output on our sciences. So do we want better science or do we want more food? Now, personally, I think the younger governor who's better with food is better, just because while it's building up with population, that's going to be pretty damn useful. So now he is the governor here. Makes it happier. Construction time is less. Makes more food. Brilliant. Now, surface. So that is... lovely. We have already got a population here starting to grow. We can eventually upgrade that into a proper planetary administration, but it requires 5 pop first, and then we'll actually be able to turn it into the other one, so it'll actually give benefits to these other ones around it. But for now, I think we just want to get a basic hydroponics farm built on there. That will suppress the mineral growth. I'm going to be honest, I'm kind of fine with that, because our minerals aren't too bad anyway. And our growing pop, I'm going to move there for now. So once he's grown and this is built, they'll start working. So there we go. That has been a quick look. Well, maybe not necessarily quick, but it's been a brief look at Stellaris. Hopefully you've enjoyed this. Again, a massive thank you to Paradox for sending this over so that I could show to you guys early before it releases on the 9th. I really hope that you guys go and check it out. If you do want to see more videos from myself, please do let me know, and I will try and get them to you. I can't promise how frequent they're going to be. I will be putting up a video probably very soon explaining why videos have been a bit everywhere and why they might continue to be for a little bit of time. But I will try and get you as many videos as I physically can between now and then, but please do bear with me. So you can let me know if you want to see more Stellaris. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully this was helpful to you. If it was, please do let me know. If you've got any tips, if you yourself have got into Stellaris and play a lot more than me, please do feel free to leave me any tips that you've spotted that I may have missed. If I have, then it's not a problem, and if I haven't spotted them, then it's something I've learned, which is awesome. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and hopefully I will see you in a future video. Bye bye.